Hey everyone, I want to show you the Instagram templates that I've been using for Ivy, Louisiana. This is my gift to you, is the region. But there's literally hundreds, there's like 250 different pages on here. So I'll just walk you through some of what's in here. This is all according to our brand colors and brand standards. There's lots of different things you can share about your events for the semester, things like fall overnights, Friendsgiving, praise and paint, spring picnic, Easter potluck, just lots of different event graphics. There's things about like praying for our campuses, meet our staff or our leaders, here's how to get involved, like here's our chapters or small groups, for the area or for your campus. Some like kind of what I call evergreen content, like here's a devotional resource you can use. Here's some, scripture quotes. Here's a 5 minutes of silence formation practice you can do. There's just lots of stuff that you can copy and use for yourself and for your own use. Just a little bit of my theory on how I do posts especially for events. What I will do is create a pretty simple graphic, like take this Friendsgiving one that just says Friendsgiving, Saturday, November 16th, and that'll be kind of the first slide of the carousel. And then the second slide is the one with all the details. I call this the everything graphic. So the name, the location, what to expect, a picture, the logo, whatever they need to know. I use this graphic as the one to share. So to share in group me's, text messages, to share on the story, tag people in it, stuff like that. I leave this one as the first slide in the carousel so that when people, scroll through your grid, they're not getting blasted with like tons of information on stuff. They can just kind of see like, oh, cool, they did a Friendsgiving back in November, or like, oh, cool, spring picnic, soccer game, worship night, prayer night. Oh, that sounds cool. They at a glance they can kind of scroll through and see what you guys have been up to without being like, oh my gosh, like what was this thing that they did with all this information? Okay, it just gives them like a glance, a highlight, a sense of what you guys have been doing as they scroll through your feed. Let me show you, you'll notice I use some of these like background cutout duotone images. I want to show you how I do it. You will need to have Canva Premium. And just a quick reminder to just always go back to the InterVarsity brand guide. I'm going to link it for you guys in another document, but this exists out here, all the colors and everything you need, so if you forget them, you can always look back at that. Let me show you how I do these picture cutout graphics. Give me a sec. Here it is. Okay. So, like I said, you're going to need Canva Premium to do the background remover feature. So that's what you do first. It's right here. It'll automatically remove the background. It doesn't always work on photos. Sometimes if the photo's not really good quality, it struggles. This did a pretty good job cutting out the background. But as you zoom in, you notice it's got some like things look a little weird, like people's thumbs look angular. There's some little, and so you could leave the photo just like this. But let me show you my coloring trick to kind of get it to blend into the background a little bit more. So I then use the duotone feature, which they have preloaded colors in here, but none of them totally match our brand. This is maybe the closest, but you'll see you still see those kind of odd things in there, like weird looking thumbs and stuff cut off. So I'm not going to leave it just like that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get in here and edit the colors customly to fit our brand. So the background here is our Revival Orange. The hex code is E76127. Which I happen to know, but if you don't know that, have it memorized, it's here in the branding guide, E76127. So I'm going to make the darker color Revival Orange, and I'm going to make the lighter color in the duotone, F99D22, this like lighter orange color. We'll see how it looks. So E76127 is going to be the darker orange in the background. And then we're going to do F99D22. So that dims it a little bit. You still see a little bit of those issues, but what it does is when the background, the darker color of this is the same as the color of the background, it helps some of those details kind of blend in a little bit more. One thing I could try is to make that blend in even a little bit more. Let's see what happens when I make the background the lighter shade. That helps it a little bit even. So like I could, use this as my graphic. Now, because this picture, the sides are cut off, I'm not just going to leave it sitting like that. I'm actually going to drag this to the edges so that it kind of like frames the bottom of the screen. And then what I would do is I would, add my text on top of it. So typically I'll just copy something from something previous and be, be like, join, oop, the color's wrong. Let me change this to white. White text here, join us this fall. Make this go into 2 lines. There, now it looks nice and balanced. Join us this fall. And then you've got like a little graphic. You could just post that as is if you would like. If you want to play around with the colors on it, you could try making this one orange, just a little more interesting. Join us this fall. So yeah, that's how I would do that duotone look on the photos. So, hope you enjoy the Instagram templates. Hope you find this useful. I will miss you all. Goodbye.